Hey, Gabriel.
Hey, Gabriel, Jose.
Where are we today?
I don't know where we are. Mochicha in San Francisco.
Mochica. Yeah, a Peruvian kitchen. I don't think that this qualifies as a dive bar, but, well.
Absolutely not. $15 cocktails. It does not mean a dive bar.
Look, we didn't actually go to a bar for a very long time. I think that we can afford these.
We can.
Okay.
And we did try like 4 other dive bars. And
Yeah,
they were
that's
either
true.
full or closed.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Alright, so what did we watch this time?
This was your pick, right? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
We watched Gaspar Noe film, Love.
Yeah, and I picked it because we discussed some time ago that I had watched Climax, and I wasn't convinced if I like Gaspar Noe or not.
Is that the only film of his you've seen?
Yes. I wanted to watch Enter the Void. I think that maybe it was like a scene of Irreversible, and I remember like all the controversy that came out about it, but it's like, with this one, I didn't even know about it. I only just saw it once on Netflix. I added it to my list, and it's everything that goes into your list you never watch until you mentioned a couple of weeks ago. So that was the rationale, about like,
I wanted to watch it too.
Yeah. So what is it about?
Fucking.
How did they call it? Is it sentimental eroticism?
Yes, sentimental eroticism. So, it's about a guy, an American living in Paris. His name is Murphy. He goes to film school, and the movie starts out, I don't think they're married, but he's living with a woman with whom he has a, 1-year-old, 2-year-old?
2-year-old, yeah, I think.
And he's miserable. They are married. It was in the description, and I was surprised that they were married. So, he's miserable, and then he gets a phone call that one of his ex-girlfriend, the love of his life ex-girlfriend, has been missing for 2 months. And so then he starts to relive his relationship with her through the moments when they had sex. And then we just watch them have sex and be mean to each other for 2 hours.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good summary. They're basically porn and fights.
Yep, porn and fights, really fucked up porn. 100% unsimulated.
Yeah.
Incredibly graphic. Murphy's penis is a stronger character than Murphy's face.
Mm-hmm.
He's awful.
Yeah, as a person, you mean? Or as an actor?
As an actor.
I actually going to be asking you something. So, do you think that any of the actors or actresses were good on this movie? Sorry?
Nothing stood out as like, wow. Murphy, I was annoyed when he had lines to deliver.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, you messaged me during that part where he's like, I want to make movies with blood and cum and... What's the other one?
Tears. Blood, tears, and sperm.
Why don't we see authentic sex in movies? He was so self-referential, Gaspar Noe, in this film.
Yeah.
I wanted to murder him.
Well, the thing that I would say is, I had the same kind of feeling about all the acting on this movie is terrible. But then I was checking the actresses, the children girls, and the funny thing with them is they didn't have any other role of their career. But this guy, the main guy, did. And he has always been bad. I saw him in Devs recently, and he's cringe-worthy. He only is there for 2 episodes or something, but that guy is not a good actor. But I had the feeling that there is something about a woman being completely naked on the street that I think that it marks their career more than a guy coming on the street.
You mean that he could come on the actresses' faces and it's no big deal?
Exactly.
But
a woman being
to do that, they're like,
no, your career is over.
Yeah, you see him climax multiple times. He's in a lot of good movies.
Yep.
Like Nocturnal Animals. He was in The Neon Demon. I don't remember him in that.
I don't say that he's a main actor, but he's
he has other roles.
There's other roles,
So that opening shot, do you remember? It's him and Electra, and it's a very nicely filmed sex scene.
All the cinematography is impressive.
It's really, really incredible.
It's a piece of art, the cinematography. And the music is also good. I like it too, but the script, there were some parts that I thought, okay, this could have been good if the delivery was better. But it almost felt, what else it made me think of? Of that VR porn video video that we discussed about the cake maker. I thought that, oh, this is a train wreck. He said, okay, I understand that you wanted to do this, Gaspar Noe, and that you wanted to make like something that it was a simulated size, and this was probably what you could use. Is that you're not going to have a Meryl Streep like. Is Jennifer Lawrence is not going to be like saying, like, yeah, I want to do a
I'll do this role.
Yeah,
Yes, Gaspar Noe.
It's Gaspar Noe. You know, it's the dream of my life. So from that perspective, I felt like, well, it's a pity that this didn't have like better actors for just checking if this was as good as it could have been. You know, what was like the full potential of it? Because I think that the actors were not good. The cinematography was astonishing, and I think that the story itself is true that there is not too much to it. From the perspective of the guy, like just thinking about the kind of relationship that he has with her, there are like multiple points that I felt that they were like pretty wrong, pretty like this is super wrong. Like when the neighbor is like, oh, I'm 17. This mod is like, oh God, I love Europe. Is like, no, that's pedophilia.
What's the age of consent in France? Do you know? Is it 16?
Probably 16.
Yeah, so it's not. It's okay there. It's legal.
It is still, you know, it's a bit weird, you know, it's like that kind of, and that's the other thing, that thinking on climax on this one is like, I don't know how I feel about this Argentinian director, like being so in love with what France is about.
But, I mean, he was born in Argentina, but he's lived in France for like 40 years, right?
40 years? I don't remember how long, but it's like, climax is the same thing when it starts, it's like, this movie is unapologetically French. And on this one is that they mention multiple times. I don't know exactly what was unapologetically French about that movie, but
from climax, yeah, it's obnoxiously French.
Well, the only French thing that I think is like is the flag. But in this case, is that there is a scene with like Claudia covering herself naked with the French flag, and then there is also like all the comments when the kid is in the police station, and the guy is like, no. That's in America. Here, in France, is that we don't do things like that.
Let your lover experience desire.
Exactly.
That was... Okay, so he escaped the dictatorship. So his family emigrated to France in 1976 to avoid basically getting murdered by the dictatorship. And he was born in 63, so he was 13 when they moved.
Okay. No, that is fair. So it's more France than Argentina. Yeah, so I don't know. The funny thing is, after watching this movie, I don't think that this movie lives up to its full potential. Mm-hmm. I think there are like several parts. If someone else would have written the script instead of being like his own production, I think that it would have been better. I think that his talent as a screenwriter may not be top notch.
I think as a director, he's extremely talented.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like M. Night Shyamalan. That's like pretty good at directing, but because he wants to write his own stuff, it's like, no.
Don't do that. Yeah. So I think that's the first thing. And the second thing is like the acting. It was not there. But it's that the problem is that you have to work with whatever you're given when you want to do something as crazy as this.
But so I agree with you on everything you're saying, but I think he chooses lesser known actors to make it feel more realistic. Like Climax, their like interactions feel super realistic.
That's true, but it's like in Climax you actually get people that they are dancers, and the dancers are amazing. Is that actually what sustained that movie is the dance scenes and the long shots, the long takes that they do. Is that that's amazing. But in this case, these are not like professional porn actors and actresses because they were not like that amazing either. You know, I felt like sure, you know, they're there.
What did you think of the scene where Elektra tries to get him and maybe succeeded in having sex with a transgendered woman?
I felt weird, but it was not as weird. Like the neighbor is 16. Let's just have sex with her. I thought it was like, well, they're exploring, you know, their sexuality, and that's the thing. Is like from the conceptual perspective, it feels pretty honest. It feels pretty like relationship is true that they are built around sex, fights, and good moments. You know, so it's like I felt like okay, this is realistic from that perspective. This could have been an amazing movie.
I felt like it was very realistic, showing. I don't think they were codependent. I don't know. Let's stay away from that word. It was a toxic relationship that they both enjoyed a lot and was really bad for both of them.
Yep.
Also, they were all terrible people, all of them. There wasn't a single good person in that movie.
Did Julio, the friend, just sold the drugs? Did he have sex with Electra? Because I don't think so.
He always says no, but also he was a drug dealer that got her hooked on cocaine.
Well, sure, yeah, that's true. It's the one that actually gave him the drugs, yeah. Yeah, so basically it's like Murphy's a terrible human being.
Oh yeah, he's a piece of shit. And I started out liking him.
Yeah, at the beginning you don't know exactly if it's okay, you're the victim of the circumstances or what sadly happened, you know. But it's like when you start like just seeing, I think that there is like a shift in the mid movie that he start like just showing about like you're a piece of shit. Like after he goes to the police station, like you're a piece of shit. Is that there is no redeeming qualities about you.
Also, I won't say too much, but when they go to the sex club. And it's totally fine for him to like fuck 3 chicks.
Oh yeah,
but then
they
she
start
starts
like
to
no,
enjoy herself, and he's like, that's not okay.
Yep,
I
yep.
was like,
But I also
I
have the
understand
feeling, look, after watching a second movie of Gaspar Noe, is like I cannot decide if he's a provocateur. You know, he likes like just provoke.
yes, the answer is yes.
Yes, but you know that you can be a provoker and also like being some other stuff, or if he's an author.
Kind of,
you know, like in the middle, you know, or he's just a troll.
Yeah,
because the problem about like the American, all the mentions about Americans, I don't think that you can just generalize in a huge country all these kind of ideas and just point it as bad stuff. Because at some points I felt like, look, there is a bit of a critique about like how a relationship is lived in Europe and how a relationship is lived in America and how these two things actually collide and things explode. But there is this kind of toxic relationship.
I feel like you're being very generous with Gaspar, saying that there was any sort of commentary in this movie.
No, I mean, I'm not completely sure if that was the intent, but there is like multiple references about him being American, about like him being the outsider of the culture, of the French culture.
Okay.
I'm not saying that this is just, you know, elevated or anything. But...
What did you think when Murphy picked out the name of his son with both women? And what was the name he picked out?
Gaspar.
Oh.
And then the owner of the gallery is Noe.
I was just looking up at his other films. I had to turn Irreversible off. I've never been so offended by a film.
You must Enter the Void.
I own Enter the Void. I fucking love that.
Oh, you do? Okay,
I did 10 years ago, but I saw it at Sundance.
Oh, okay, so
and
maybe
so
you were just
I love
snobby.
everything I see at Sundance. I'm like, that was the most important film I've ever seen. No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a hard time with his films because they're often ultra violent because he wants movies made out of blood, cum, and tears. And
Sure.
he succeeds. So Enter the Void... Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I enjoyed being able to be in Gaspar Noé's film, his like film world, without having to watch the worst things that humanity has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I was, now that you mentioned about like, the bad things of humanity has to offer, I actually was comparing it, and I think that we also discussed about this, but I was comparing it in my mind with Haneke.
You're being awful
Well,
kind.
let me just continue, you know. But I had the feeling that is that both of them that like to provoke the audience. They like to actually just shift their expectations about what is going on, you know, and just try to make you say, okay, yeah, we're terrible. You know, in this case, I don't think that it's generalized, but it's a bit more like those people, like you say, that everyone is terrible in that movie. So, but at the same time, it's like he has more class when doing that. He's not like face value kind of, okay, they're terrible because he actually goes to have sex with the neighbor.
Yeah, I mean, Haneke is good at subtext.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Gaspar Noé never learned the French word for subtext.
Le subtext. Yeah, no, that's... I just feel like he's half-baked, you know, from that perspective. He still has, like, value of what he does. It's different from any other director. It's like I could actually just see climax and see this, and there are aspects, you know, cinematography is true that it's the same guy on both movies. The guy that,
Is it?
Yeah, I checked it.
But he had a much better chance to shine here, right, in Love.
In Love, you think?
I
In Climax?
I liked it in Climax, but those, like, artistic sex scenes, those were so fucking beautiful.
Yeah. I have to say that it got to a point that I would start to get bored with the sex.
Oh yeah, it loses its like, oh, there's an erect cock.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's Murphy's dick again.
Yeah, the only thing that I also have to say is splurge. There is a couple of splurge in the climax moment that I felt like, look, yeah, we get it. You want to make this as provocative, you know, and as shocking to the audience as you can, but that is splurge. I don't think that that's, you know, normal.
What did you think of the shot of the...
That was pretty weird. That was one of the splurge ones.
Yeah, so that comes from Enter the Void, and now he's so proud of that shot, he's used it in every single movie.
Also, Enter the Void has exactly the same take about like a Venus that going, okay.
Can I give you some spoilers?
Sure, come on. Let's give it to me.
So in Enter the Void, the Murphy character, the boy, dies, but his sister's alive, and her boyfriend's fucking her. And you see the camera from inside her vagina, and he ejaculates into her and becomes pregnant with her brother. Okay, yeah, I need to watch that. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's like I didn't dislike it because I think what it's trying to do is great. But I don't think that it lives up to the expectations or, to its full potential. I think the climax is closer to the full result. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Climax is a much, much better film, and for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
I will say that, so I watched the last hour and a half of The Turin Horse, and I was so energized by the last 10-15 minutes of that movie, I was like, I'm just going to watch Love. And I watched all 2.5 hours right after that.
Holy shit, you did it back to back. That's crazy.
So I think that probably swayed the way I feel about it. Like, this is no Turin Horse.
Well, but the thing is, like, when I think about photography, I think that both of them are great.
Yeah.
And the cinematography is amazing. I think actually that I like more the cinematography on Love than in the Turing Horse, because in the Turing Horse is very like by the book about like we only have this house. There are like so many takes that we can actually do with it, and is that with Love there are like plenty of scenes, not only when they're having sex, but also like when they're walking or when they're like just outdoors. It's pretty clear that everything is like just shot in a way that you can just print that shot, and it will be amazing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and did you also see that they have M on the M poster? You remember M, the Fritz Lang movie?
I didn't notice that, but I noticed they had Birth of a Nation, which I was like, why?
Yeah, because Gaspar Noe
he likes to be like, racial something. He doesn't know what he's saying. But
it's racial.
And then there was another movie in his apartment, kind of by the baby's crib, that I can't remember.
Wasn't there a Metropolis one? I think that there was a Metropolis at someone's place.
Yeah, I think you're right. There was a Metropolis.
Yeah, like a vertical one, not like too wide.
Whoever picked out the movie posters has good taste.
Yeah. Well, Birth of a Nation was like a bit of a weird one when I saw it. It's like, this doesn't fit in here, What is the director of Birth of a Nation?
I'm pretty sure it was just the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, sure, but there was a face to it, and he had a name. It's the father of modern editing in cinema. It's Will Griffiths or something like that.
I'm going to be very impressed if you knew that. It is D.W. Griffith. Yeah, I mean...
I went to college.
Good for you. There was a lot that I enjoyed about it. There was a lot I thought, It was also a movie that did not need to be 2 hours and 20.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. That was significantly longer than it should have been. Because besides that, the kind of resolution is just underwhelming. Is that you never know if they actually went... if she's dead or not.
Oh yeah, they didn't resolve it.
Yeah, it's just he only gets to that conclusion from the perspective that, okay, I remember once that she told me, it's like, if I ever am in pain, I'd rather be dead. But he said, but it has been like 2 years after you guys broke up.
Was it 2 years? Yeah, it had to be, because they broke up when she got pregnant, and the kid was at least 1.
Yeah.
She was kind of walking, right?
Yeah, he was walking. Yeah, he walks into the shower, into the bathtub. I like that scene, the final scene when they're in the bathtub.
Except he couldn't really cry, and it was so awkward.
Look, it's what I'm telling you. The problem of this movie is basically the screenplay could have actually been like rewritten by someone else. Is that the idea is good, and the base is okay, But it's like I just feel like someone else could actually have done like a second pass and said, like, look, let's just streamline, Let's just remove like half of the texts here,
So, would you watch it again?
I may, not right now, but it's like I would like to just watch more Gaspar Noe's movies, and then just trying to analyze, like coming out to a conclusion about like how this is actually fair against the other ones.
And what would you watch next from
For what?
Sorry, what would you watch next from Gaspar Noe?
Enter the Void. I have it on my queue on Filmy. They have it there.
I actually own the Blu-ray if you want to watch it.
It's fine. I have it on Filmy. It's faster.
So I would not watch this again, and
Would you recommend it?
I would recommend it to the right person. Yeah, like I'd be like, well, if you want something that's just like, look how extreme I am.
Yeah, but that's the funny thing that I was thinking about. Is that okay? We all acknowledge as adults that sex is something that it exists in our world. There's that when you're with a partner, is that you're going to have sex with that person. No, I mean that's how it works. No, so just given that principle, and just given that there are also like fights and like good moments, and everything is depicted, it's like why skimping on the sex? It's like I felt at some points, especially at the beginning, I felt like a bit uncomfortable. Then I felt like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then I felt like just bored. Okay, I see what you're trying to make. Like you're saying that sex is part of how they connected with each other. It's part of what they bring them together. It's something that they enjoy together.
Well, that and drugs was really the only two things that worked in their relationship.
No, that's true. Yeah. But it's just removing the drugs that let's say that it like socially is not exactly the same standard as sex. I felt like it was brave, and it makes sense the perspective of having sex as a first-class citizen on the movie. It felt more honest, and at that point I felt like, well, I wish that there was another director that I wouldn't be scared of just screwing up his career completely, adding sex.
Unsimulated sex?
Unsimulated sex.
Let me tell you about a little movie called The Idiots.
But that's true. But look, the problem there is like it's not about a relationship. That's the wrong part about that movie.
I'm sorry, there was plenty of unsimulated orgies in that.
And that's the point that I stopped watching that movie. That's the point that I said, like, no, you went too far, Miss von Trier. I said, no, you're crossing a line here. Let's have sex. Oh no, let's have sex like if we were. Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, no, I see your point. And also, so I read a review of this movie that was published in a newspaper.
It was the New York Times.
It was the New York Times. And the critic, I didn't look who the critic was, but she was making fun of America about how in our like highly regulated rating system for movies here, who rates our movies?
Oh, I don't remember.
I want to say the NAACP, but it's not them rating our movies.
Okay. Whoever.
Anyway, where they have firmly established that to Americans an orgasm is far more offensive than a murder. I was like, yeah. So in that regard, I think good for shattering paradigms.
Yeah, but honestly, I mean, I thought that it's like it left me like in a middle ground about like I'm not completely sure if I like it because there are things that they are like pretty good and it could have been like better, but there were like some other parts that they were like so cringe-worthy. That is like, why didn't you go like the when you actually just like put a bit more of effort into this and just make it a bit more elevated? And then at that point I was thinking like, is he even capable of doing something elevated?
I'm sure he is capable. I don't think he wants to.
Well, because he's a troll. A sucker.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah? But I do think he is talented enough that if he wanted to take a more mainstream script and just like make it into something really powerful and beautiful, he could do it.
No, that's true. Oh no, I mean I think that as we usually say, like artistically, this was amazing. I don't know if I would recommend it because I have like I probably would actually ask things like, how do you feel about porn in your movies? It's like, oh, you have never watched a movie with porn? I'll introduce you to this one.
I have a funny anecdote about this movie. My coworker, he's the guy that his friends go to for movie recommendations, and so he had only read very basically what this movie was and about how it's relationships and sex and. They
don't go to you.
This is a coworker.
Oh, that's
and it's his friends, like his social group. And he hadn't seen it, but had it on his queue because he read good reviews, and so he recommended it to like 5 or 6 of his female friends who started treating him a little differently.
After watching it, yeah,
until he figured it out why.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, what would you rate this?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm a bit torn. I'm between like a 5 and a 6.
I was going to go with a 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would also go with a 5.5 because I think that it has potential to be more. So from that perspective, I'm not going to be like giving it as more than a 6. I think the photography is great, but it's like the problem is like in most of the cinematography, they are like these 2 people that they can barely act for their lives.
Did you really think that Elektra was that bad? I didn't think she was distractingly bad like Murphy.
I think that both of them were like just cringe-worthy. The scene when they're like talking about their favorite movie, and she started like talking about the poem. She started like just reciting this poem. I feel like the only. It's when I started just thinking about the cake maker. I was thinking that the only thing that I could make was like, I love poetry. Roses are red. It's the only thing that I could have been worse. And that's unfortunate, you know. It's like I don't. The women are like extremely gorgeous, and the guy is okay, I guess.
Yeah, he's a handsome kid.
Yeah, he's a handsome kid, but it's a bit more like, look, I'm pretty sure that you try to go, you know, to some acting, to some actor agencies, and when you presented the script, everyone said like, bro.
I'm so curious as to where he gets his funding, because even in France, his stuff is pretty out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure, like, the French government, you know, with all the publicity that he did on this and climax. I don't think there is too much cinema that they show. Not even like a Christmas Tale or any movie with Catherine Deneuve. They have so many flags, so many French flags.
That's probably true.
Yeah, it's like it's the movies. His movies are like the only ones that I see with so many flags, so many French flags. Yeah, sorry, it was distracting. Maybe he will come back and you can also get distracted too. But yeah, so 5.5?
Yep, that's what I would say.
Alright, so what are we watching next time?
I literally... Oh,
we
are watching Hackers.
Oh yes, we are.
We are, and that's not an ironic pick. I'm picking Hackers.
You have to just explain, like, thoroughly when we talk about it, why. But yeah. Alright, folks, thank you so much for listening. Do you have anything to say to our two people audience?
Wash your hands.
Bye.